Ladies and gentlemen, you better ask somebody. I am in the building in all elegance and in all regalness. Welcome once again to Majestic. Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show. It's 3 o'clock on the dot. I am here in the building. Welcome to all of you that will be watching this and looking at this at whatever time you're looking at it now. Good to have another chance to come to you. I'm on my regular time now. I did not have to deal with my son today, and therefore I can come in on my regular time, and I'm happy to hang with you guys now for the moment. Hope that when you come in, hope that you would share. Hope that you would share the content. Hope that you will hit that like button as you come in. Hope that you would do that. It would be cool if you did. You know what I'm saying? It would be cool if you did. It would be very nice. And if you do that, you can. It's Saturday at 3 o'clock. It's just another good day. Talk Cowboy football as we get closer and closer to training camp. And it's almost that time, y'all. It's almost that time. No doubt about it. There's no question about it. I'm sharing right now as we speak. And I'm doing it with another whole community, and we're just going to see how that works out. Let's see what happens. Good evening to all of you guys. Before I start, I'm just letting you folks come in. I hope you guys are doing okay. What am I looking for? All right. Let's see if we can get a cruise in here that I've never had before. I'm about to do that. Y'all forgive me while I take my time. We freestyling today, y'all. But in particular, I'm going to talk about two different things. In particular. And we'll see what happens on that. Okay? Let me speak to everybody that's here. Joe, I see you. What's up? Joe's the only one that done hollered at me. What's going on, Joe? Appreciate you popping in on me. Let's see what's going on over here. All right, let's go. I want to talk today about what everybody else is talking about. I hadn't had the chance to, bring my little status or my analysis of what's going on, at least in the terms of Jadon Blue, where we're not at training camp now. Right now, people are just thirsty for any Cowboy news, whether it's true or not, whether it's positive or negative. It's just something to talk about, and everybody seems to be talking about Jadon Blue. And our running back, of course, if you don't know who he is, our running back who we picked up in the 5th round this year, rookie from Texas, who did not start a lot of games at Texas at all. He's great talent, fast, real fast guy, but he didn't start a lot of games at Texas at all. I'm talking about under 6 games. Under 6 games his whole career at Texas. That's how many games he started. So we're talking about a guy who was not I'm not going to say he was not a contributor, but he was not the man as far as at his position. So let's get that started first. Of course, his talent is there. When you're playing at a school like Texas, it's kind of hard to jump up on the depth chart anyway because everybody's so good, especially at running back. Jadon Blue has some God-given gifts that a lot of people don't have. But he was drafted, obviously, because It's not a lot of production, but good enough to get you in the league. And based off his talent and probably his upside, he was drafted in the 5th round. And in this draft, where it was just loaded with running back, being drafted in the 5th round is really not that bad. To be honest with you, there was a lot of great running backs in this draft that we just had. So we're talking about a huge difference. What's up, Talib? I see you. Thanks for popping in. He's a guy that, when he's electric, when he's what's up, Coach Bree Love? About your time. I understand why it's been a minute. I'm quite sure you're getting busy. It's about that time for you to. I don't know. Are you coaching this year, Coach Bree Love? If you are, it's time now. So I know why you've been busy. I know you with me. I know you got my back. So I understand. Even if that means you don't watch me live, you probably might watch me, in your spare time and go with that. I know who you are, Coach Bree. I know you've been with me for a while. So value you, value your insight, value your comments and everything. So appreciate you always popping up on it. But Jaden Blue is a guy that, I already know. I know what time it is. You watching film, Coach. You trying to get this team together. I know what you're doing. I understand. Totally. But Jaden Blue is a guy, man, that he's a guy that there's still a lot of question marks about him. Because he's not one that has toted the load. He's a contributor, and he's a very good contributor. But there's a lot of upside with him, but you just don't know to what extent. You see what I'm saying? So the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned when it comes to him. However, this week, as I'm quite sure you've already heard, there was a report from a former assistant coach here from years ago, 20 plus years ago, that basically is questioning Jaden's Blue work ethic and say he's lazy. That was the words that came out. He's lazy. Work ethic is not, basically what he's saying is the kid ain't hungry enough to get the job done, to really want it, especially when you got a backfield like we have where there really isn't a clear-cut number one. That means probably that the door is open at least for some surprises, maybe. When you got Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, and, all these, other guys, right now you can't really say who the clear-cut number one is. But there's a profile that's going on about Jaden Blue. Whether it's true or not, the truth of the matter is we really don't know. And you're going to have a whole bunch of folks that going to act like they know, but they don't know. The kid ain't even had a practice yet. If we're just basing it off his past, I don't know. I ain't heard Coach Stark call it, say Jaden Blue is raggedy or he's this and he can't, hustle. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. His scouting report, however, did say that he would have to prove himself. That don't necessarily mean that you're lazy. What it means is that you just got to prove yourself. And coming into the door this year, really, they ain't saying nothing because he's a rookie. Of course he has to prove himself. Of course he does. So that ain't saying nothing, but Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders had to prove themselves too. If they want to be the man or the running back here. Deuce Vaughn has to prove himself. And Phil Maffa has to prove himself. Hunter Lemke have to prove himself. I mean, that ain't saying nothing. But this stigma that he's lazy and don't have good work ethic is mind blowing to me. Coming and why all of a sudden the timing of it that we're gonna say it now. We didn't really hear about this, on this level, for a while. We had a little description of them that was leaning that way, but not nothing as concrete as this. So we don't know. Jadon Blue, of course, as you done heard, if you're not following him on his Twitter page or X page, you probably need to. He's already responded and saying that, hey, he can't wait till camp start so he can shut all the noise down. This new noise that just done came up, these question marks about himself. So he's coming in obviously motivated. He's coming in, you probably will say, probably with a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna come in looking to impress, and once you hear that and once you think about it, then the obvious question is, isn't that what you want your running back to do? You want him motivated? You want him with a chip on his shoulder? Don't you want that? So to me, I had no problem with the accusation, whether it's true or not. What it did do was it brought about some motivation. It brought about a chance for the dog to come out of him, because he walks in the door just in case. And really, Coach Schottenheimer would not put that out there on him. He's not like that. Hey, Jay Bryant, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying Coach Schott, even if it was true, Coach Schottenheimer ain't gonna put it out there like that. He not. He may. I'm not saying I know what Coach Schottenheimer's thinking. And he might think that way if that is the case, but he's not gonna put it out in public. That's not gonna happen. The depth chart, just in case anybody wants to know, the last depth chart that was put out on the Cowboys, Jadon Blue is the third running back. That ought to tell you something right there, to be honest with you. If they got him listed as the third running back right now, first of all, I don't think that gap is too big between the first, second, and then the third running back anyway. That's where they have him listed, as the third running back. The latest depth chart. Now, of course, all that can change during preseason and training camp and then preseason games. All that can change. But as of now, he's listed as the third running back. So that must mean something. The coaches think a little bit differently, at least than what the reporter said. If he's listed there, because certainly that means he's ahead of Deuce. That means he's ahead of Phil Maffa. He's obviously ahead. I don't think you really could put Lemke there. Lemke is really not. The responsibility for him is not to be like the other running backs in the first place, even if we list them as that. Coach says, do I think we're going to keep 4 running backs? I think yes. Because if they are really serious about implementing the running game like they said, and then you really don't trust, completely Sanders and Javonte Williams, if you don't really trust that, and then when you think about the injury history of both of them, Sanders and Javonte Williams, you better keep a stable. And you better keep a stable of running backs. Javonte Williams is not the most healthiest guy. Never have been. Miles Sanders is a little bit long in the tooth. He looks great. If you've seen his body, I mean, good Lord. He looked like he's been chiseled. He's motivated too. because he got his eyes set on the Philadelphia Eagles, and basically because he mad because he's still not there. So he's highly motivated, and he looks like it. And Sanders is saying, wait till I'm gonna do some business this year. So I think that we're keeping all of them. To be honest with you. There'll have to probably be some on the practice squad, but I can see us keeping every single one of them. I can. I think that I don't know about the wild card when it comes to that Coach B Love is probably Lemke, because Lemke, we talk about people who don't have sponsors in the building. I think Lemke don't have no sponsors. Even though Schottenheimer knows him, obviously, but I'm not sure where the fullback, if that's where he's playing, I'm not sure how he fits into the scheme. But also remember, they were lining him up as another tight end as well. So if you can get a guy that's 2 for 1, that you can get two positions out of him, flex, as the Cowboys love to use or love to say, flex position, then Hunter Lemke becomes incredibly valuable. And I really believe he's going to make the team anyway. Lemke is. I really believe that. And so when you think about that, if that is the case, then somebody ain't gonna make it. So that brings into question Deuce and maybe Phil Maffa. I think Blue is gonna make the team without a doubt. And as of now, I think you really ain't got no choice but to say Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders are gonna make the team. So if you do that and you add Lemke in, if that is the case, there are your 4 running backs right there. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Blue, and Lemke. I can see that. And then, of course, in the event that one of those guys get hurt, which the injury history is there to say that, at least to lean toward and say that he is somebody may not make it as far as being injury free, then you gonna keep probably Maffa pass through waivers, which or they'll probably cut him, of course, and then he gets signed to the practice squad or whatever. I think he will make it. I think that's going to happen. I think so. So I think really I really believe, like I told you guys before, there are some positions that I don't think that are open, and running back very well may be one of those spots. Running back very well may be one of those spots. So I don't know. I don't know. I forgot to share this with one of the groups here. Y'all forgive me for that. But when it comes to Jaden Blue and this latest description of him, if anything, a fire was lit. You know what I'm saying? I actually like it, even if it is true, which I doubt very seriously. But even if it is true, I'm loving it. I'm loving it because Jaden has a skill set, man, that he can explode. So I'm good with the publicity. Let me put it that way. Whether it's true or whether it's not, if he has a bad work ethic, whether it is true, he responded. And I believe, you know what I'm saying? I believe this will motivate him coming into the door where I'm in Oxnard, California, he comes in with a point to prove. Ask what you want your players. I mean, that's what I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I want it to happen. So let it be. As far as I'm concerned, y'all forgive me. I'm looking at something. I used to be good at multitasking. I done got older now. Something doesn't happen to me. What used to be ain't no more. Y'all understand? I'm serious as a heart attack. I don't know. So, let me see here. All right. So, and a lot of this, like I said before, Coach Breedlove and Jay Bryant, you guys know, just like I know, Coach Breedlove, you going through this right now, that the grass is going to answer all these questions. See, right now, we can go back and forth like a tennis match and just keep talking about that and all that, but the grass going to answer that. What y'all guys just said, especially what Jay Bryant just said about looking for burst and all that, well, that's going to show up. That's going to show up. It's either there or it's not going to be there, which may influence even the depth of the running back. I think the Cowboys, regardless of who it is, I think the Cowboys going to week 1 with 4 running backs on the game day roster. And keep in mind, a couple of them going to have to play special teams. So if Marfa makes the game day roster, you can rest assured he's going to be playing some special teams somewhere. That might be in the same category for Blue as well. Who knows? Or it might be in the cards for Deuce Vaughn. I think that I think it's gonna be 4. You just don't know which 4. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know which 4. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know which 4. But if they're gonna run the ball like they say they are, in which I believe that they're gonna make an honest attempt, then. And based off the injury proneness of some of the guys, I believe that you are going to have 4 running backs. And I think Jaden Blue is going to show his tail. I just believe it. I'm sorry. I do. I like the kid. I know he fumbled the ball. And people want to harp on that. That's fine. But he is a playmaker. He can hit his head on the goal post at any moment. He could take a 5-yard swing pass, and before you know it, it's going for 65 to 70 yards because he can get out there. He's dynamic in the pass game. Of course, it'd be rare when one man can bring him down. He's that shifty. He's that potent. So I like Jaden Blue myself. I believe he's going to help us more than harm us, obviously. And I think Dak Prescott would love an option and a weapon like that coming out of the backfield. No doubt about it. He kind of put you in the mind of a Tony Pollard, actually. I don't think he runs the ball as great as Tony did, but he ain't too far off. And then he's a rookie, so, I mean, he got plenty of time to get himself together. We really don't know what he is. We don't know. I will say this part about Jaden Blue. Another reason why I'm kind of happy that he came out is for this reason. And check me out here. I'm happy because it speeds up his Dallas Cowboy maturity rather quickly, because About this time last week, nobody wasn't talking about Jadon Blue. And now we get this little speculation about whether his work ethic is good or whether he's lazy, as they say. And what it should do is let Jadon Blue know that in Dallas, Texas, at least with the Dallas Cowboys, everything that you do, and most importantly, that you don't do, is going to be scrutinized on a level that maybe is not at Jacksonville or not at Buffalo. You're a Dallas Cowboy now, which means all eyes on you. Once you don't do what you're supposed to do, it'll be on ESPN the next morning. When somebody done do right at Jacksonville, nobody knows nothing about it. It's got to be a real serious offense in Jacksonville, unless you're Travis Hunter. If you're Travis Hunter, he's going to be scrutinized. Everybody else, ain't nobody talking about nothing. Nobody ain't heard nothing about how you know how the expectations aren't really being met by Trevor Lawrence. Nobody ain't saying that about him because and he's one of the quote unquote better young guys. The world gives him room to make mistakes. Dak Prescott ain't never had room to make a mistake. See the difference? It's all about the organization. So if he is having a bad work ethic and he wants to be on this team and wants to really make a move and wants to be a great player, let me just go ahead and say it like this. It's probably a good thing this came out before he gets to Oxnard. Because if he is lazy, which I doubt, but if he is lazy, as the report said, or the accusation is, then I guarantee he gonna come out and prove to everybody that he ain't lazy. So this is good. This is good. Ruben Vargas say, I can't wait for Joe Milton to start. Start what, the preseason? Ruben, you ain't gotta wait long for that. That's gonna happen. But if you're talking about him being the starter of the Dallas Cowboys, the only way that's going to happen is unless Dak Prescott is hurt. Because if Dak Prescott is not hurt, let me go ahead and put this up now. Let's see. There's always one. Poor Ruben. Don't worry about Ruben. I got something for him. See, I be waiting for people like this. Here it is right here. Ruben, I got breaking news. Look at it at the bottom. So I can go on with the show. There you go, right there. You might as well let it go. I mean, to be honest with you, Ruben, you already know he's starting quarterback. So I don't even know why you even going that route. I mean, just stop it. But you will get to see Joe Milton probably start quarterback in the preseason, because it's obvious that Dak Prescott is not going to be playing a whole lot of preseason games. No, Ruben, just stop. Your owner, I don't know if you're a Cowboy fan or not, but just in case you are, good and late on $60 million on the bench. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, don't even waste your breath on that. If Dak Prescott start throwing picks, he'll just get on in front of the microphone, say he's going to do better, and he'll line up next week and try to do better. He's your starting quarterback. You see that breaking news down there? See, I got that up just for people like Ruben. Really, this was for Kid Cowboy, who hadn't made his appearance yet. But I made that really for him. But since Ruben is in here thinking that Dak Prescott ain't gonna be the starter, it's just, you're gonna see some more, Ruben. And you know it. So I don't even know why if you're a diehard fan of the Dallas Cowboys, and you've been a fan for a long time, and you know how your owner is, and you also know what this man just got paid, there's no way in the world that you are thinking that Dak Prescott is going to sit on the bench as a second quarterback. Well, you may think he's a third quarterback. there's just no way. So I don't know why you thinking that. Now you gonna get to see what you want to see. You gonna get to see Joe Milton in the preseason. You gonna get to see it. You know that's it. So we'll see Joe Milton, and he'll get to go against guys that just started working at a grocery store or working at the nearest instant oil change, and he should look good. He should look great, actually. And everybody gonna start saying, "Oh, that Joe Milton. Oh, you see how he looking? I'm gonna be, yeah. Yeah, Ruben. We hope he proved. He wrote. I don't know about proving wrong because he was hurt last year. He was playing pretty. He wasn't playing good when he got hurt. I get you that, but he's a starting quarterback. So let's just stop. Yeah, overall, he's not really a interception guy. His numbers prove it for itself. Ruben, you might want to go look at Pro Football Reference. Just look at his career. Look at the numbers, and you'll see it. Now, I give you that he's thrown interceptions at critical times. I give you that. But overall, he's not a interception-prone guy. The numbers speak for itself. I don't even know why I'm wasting all this time. But for breaking news, there it is right there. Dak is your starting quarterback. Really, Ruben knows this. He's a fan of the Cowboys. He knows this. He's just one of those Cowboy fans that are Dak haters. There are a lot of those. You're a Cowboy fan, but you're a Dak hater. Hey, Donald Davis, Miss Donald Davis, don't know you, but welcome to the Big Time Show. Glad you popped in, and look like you're a Dak hater too. And look like you're a fan though, but it looks like you're a Dak hater as well. I understand that. I understand the expectation. I get it. I ain't gonna knock you for it. I'm not gonna even knock you for it. If you want the Super Bowl, which we all do, then we fail tremendously. Are there plays he could have made? Yeah. But he's not the way y'all describe him. There are teams that would love to have Dak Prescott as their quarterback. All right. Back to Jadon Blue. William, what's up, brother? William comes in and says he gave a list of all the running backs. Boys keep 4. Who's off 53? We just went over that, William, and I said, just to catch you up, I said it'd be Williams, Sanders, Blue, and Hunter Lemke. Well, I think Hunter's gonna see some time at tight end this year. He's just too valuable. I ain't talking about Dak, Shane. What's up, Shane? Another one of my day ones. Shane says, since we're talking about Dak, how many more years will he be the starting quarterback in Dallas? Well, maximum 4 years. They can do something with the contract after the second year of this extension, if I'm not mistaken. Minimum 2 years, maximum 4. That's the answer to your question, Shane. Which one is it? I don't know. I think this year gonna have a lot to do with that because the offense, in my view, is pretty loaded this year. And I think the expectation is going to be for Dak to really have a real good year this year. That's going to be the expectation. Yeah, Keystone said 3 years, something like that. Yeah. So that's about it. So you're going to get if they really talk about winning the Super Bowl, these next 3 seasons, they're gonna be quote unquote with their version of all in, really trying to win it. Because if it is just 3 years, you're gonna start all over again at quarterback. Um, you know what I'm saying? After I mean, you got to start over again, even if it's Joe Mills, whoever. Maybe it's a kid that's in high school right now. And by the time 3 years get here, they'll be, ready to play. Ruben, what in the world are you see? Ruben, come on, man. Come on, Ruben. Come on now. Come on now. I don't know you too well, but how in the world you gonna tank when you got all this talent on this team? Do you realize that Arch Manning probably be a top 3 pick next year? Do you know what your record has to be in order to be probably a top 3 pick? Do you really believe that just with Dak, since you don't like Dak, do you really believe this team is only going to win 3 or 4 games? That's the question I need to ask you. That makes for real, Ru. You couldn't, think with all this talent on this team and with a quarterback that the facts say that if he starts and plays, you're going to get at least close to 9 to 10 wins automatic. That's what Dak gives you. Dak really gives you 10 wins every year, other than the year he hurt. I mean, other than that. And how in the world do you really believe that this team is only going to win probably 3 to 4 games with Dak Prescott as your quarterback? Are you kidding me? That's the only way you're going to get an Arch Manning, who's probably going to be, if he's not number 1, he's probably going to be number 2. And how in the world are we going to get a record like that, Ruben? Come on now. How are we going to do it? How are we going to, I mean, seriously. Unless you really believe this roster is this bad. Now, if you think it's this bad, then I get it. But other than that, you just typing stuff. That don't even make sense. Ain't nobody here. Nobody. Look, I got who's your partner in here? Donna Davis. Donna, if you're in here, do you really think that the Cowboys are only gonna win three games this year? Even though you don't like Dak, do you think that Dak Prescott is gonna win at least 8 games this year? Hell, if you win 8, 9 games, you in the middle of the pack of drafting. That's at least 17, 18, 19. Come on now. Even if you don't make the playoffs, if you win 8, 9 games, you're in the middle of the draft. I mean, in the middle of the draft with your pick. 20, maybe. Come on now. So, I don't even know why I'm putting more time into it. Okay, back to Jaden Blue. I'm expecting something big out of him this season because he got the motivation at the right particular time. There's no doubt about that. So he has something to prove, and he has a little fire on his belly now since people are questioning him and his laziness per se and his work ethic per se. We gonna have a very motivated Jaden Blue starting things off, and I'm excited about that. So I'm glad somebody said something about him. I'm glad it happened. I want him motivated. Period. I'm glad Jaden Blue. That's my thought on it. Why everybody wondering if it's true. Why everybody wondering, if it is true, and some saying it's not true, and then for Jaden to respond to it already, and I'm excited about the fire that is lit. He's already a rookie. He already knows he has something to prove, but now you question his work ethic, whether he was lazy, If he is lazy, I guarantee you he won't be lazy in training camp because he has to prove the coaching staff wrong. This ain't Texas. This is not the University of Texas. This is the NFL. And he's already a rookie who they figure probably won't be a starter anyway. Nobody don't want to come in and talk about you riding the bench. So Jalen Blue gonna be ready to play football. Do I know that for 1,000%? No, but I just come on now. It is what it is. Donna Davis, you might want to share your opinion with Ruben because he think we ought to tank for Arch Manning. There's no way in the world the Cowboys will get Arch Manning. No way. Unless, of course, they trade up to get him. I mean, that's the only way. It's nothing to talk about. I'm gonna say this about Arch Manning too. Like, you know, is he that good? I'm just saying. I mean, Texas got a lot of weapons and great line and all that. And he get to, I know his last name is Manning, but that don't mean he Peyton Manning. I mean, I'm just saying. Is Arch first team All-American this year? I don't know. I don't know. Ruben, I know you're a fan, but you're a fan that don't like Dak Prescott. So we got a contradiction. Your success of the Cowboys is in his primarily a lot in his hands. But I just want you to read what you just said and let's just not pass it off like it ain't nothing. You just type down, your word says 3 consecutive 12-win seasons. And I understand playoffs. I understand. But that wasn't his fault. I mean, come on now. You would seem like one of the ones that want to blame him for that. But, we all know that it was a team effort. Your defense giving up 35 points, 6 straight touchdowns. Dak ain't playing no defense. It's just stop. But anyway, let's not try to minimize and act like it's easy to win 12 straight games for 3 straight years. Let's not act like that ain't nothing. Come on now. Let's just stop. All right. So I just want to put that out there. So, but based off what you just saying, how in the world you think you're gonna tank and get Arch Manning when you got a quarterback that wins double digit wins every year? I'm just saying. See, I'm going by your word. If he does what he usually do, Ruben, you forget Arch Manning. You forget that. Ain't nothing to talk about. Everybody saying Arch is that good. Okay. I ain't saying he bad at all. I'm just saying, is he that good that you willing to tank for? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Quentin Nevels, according to Texas, is better than Arch Manning. See, you got to get past the last name. We all know who he's affiliated with. We know who his uncle is, and his uncles are Eli and Peyton. And he has his grandfather is the great Archie Manning. We all know that, but he wasn't that. He wasn't great enough to start old Quinn Nevels. That's fact. I ain't saying he trash. I ain't saying he. I'm just saying Quinn Nevels, according to Texas, was a better quarterback than him. Quinn Nevels, whatever his name is. I'm just saying. He got time. He got some time, and he look good. He's an athlete. He can run. We know that. He can throw the ball. pedigree, you know, comes from a great family. You know, it is what it is. But he ain't gonna be no Dallas Cowboy. It's just not gonna happen because this team is not a 2 to 3 win team. It's just that simple. So it is what it is. Now, I want to talk about, as I said with Blue. I love it that he's gonna be motivated, whether it's true or false. He's gonna be ready to play, and that's gonna make. I think that's gonna make the running back competition even more competitive because you got a guy that's gonna be motivated to go, which is gonna motivate them to go. I believe Miles Sanders is motivated automatically because he wants to prove Philadelphia wrong. And he has a chance to be the number one guy, starting off or whatever. Javonte Williams is coming off injury, and people are doubting that he can play still. And so he's going to be motivated to go. So this thing is looking real good. Competitive-wise, we're going to get the best out of everybody. We are. And I love it. I love it. So that's the way I'm looking at this thing with Blue. I love the possible motivation. I don't think it's possible. I think it is the motivation, especially since Blue done already talked about it. I love it. I love that he's going to be fired up and ready to go. That's just what we need. Now, let me get to the other major part that everybody's talking about. And that is, of course, Michael Parsons, the contract or the lack of a contract or the extension, I'm sorry. The contract extension. He's under contract right now, but that ain't what everybody's talking about. I don't know, Coach. I can't say that. I can't see it how it's panning out because I gotta see. I gotta see some stuff first. I don't know how well this defense gonna be. The more I sit down and think about it, my one of my best friends is on here, Marlon. We had a long discussion about things, and I don't, I'm really questioning how well this defense really gonna be. And I'll say this, Coach, based off of, I know. I say, and part is because of the defense. Is because there are too many questions, number one, about cornerback. Diggs ain't starting off. Diggs gonna be on the bench. I mean, he ain't no telling when he coming back. We don't know how well Elam is going to play. I don't know. I don't know how he gonna look. The kid that we got from Buffalo, Elam. So you figure he'll probably be the other starter, and other than Bland, maybe. And then of course, who's our third corner? Carson is coming back, and he's coming off injury. And I mean, I don't know how good he is. He's coming off ACL himself. We still got Booth, and we know how that looked. Booth is still on the roster. Ravel, the rookie that we drafted, he's coming off ACL, and it ain't been a year, so I don't know. How his leg gonna treat him when he comes back. A lot of people saying he might be ready for training camp. Well, that's way less than a year. I don't know how our defense gonna look. And then, of course, the main thing is this. Can we stop the run? And we still got the same options as our defensive tackles who I've seen get ran over. And that is Osi and Mozzie Smith. I've seen the tape. They can't stop the run. We done had that. We done seen that. So I got the same two guys that's starting the starting defensive tackles. And I understand Mozzie was smaller last year and he gained a lot of his weight back, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, I don't know is it going to be a metamorphosis? I mean, Osa is not a run stopping defensive tackle. Osa is a playmaking defensive tackle. And I got plenty of tape on him saying he got ran over. So I mean, if we can't stop the run, and has it really been addressed? I love Osa. Osa gonna get you, 5-6 sacks this year. He gonna be a borderline Pro Bowl defensive tackle, but he can't stop the run. We got years. We saw this. Mozzie was big in his first year, and he got ran over. Then in the second year, he got smaller, and he got ran over. Now you telling me he getting his weight back, and I've already seen it with his weight. Now somebody gonna say, where the scheme wasn't right. Okay. Maybe Eberflus scheme will do it. We'll wait and see. But I got tape that says, I ain't got no opinion. I got tape that we can pull up and see that they can't stop the run. It's just the bottom line. So I got questions about our corners, and now I got two guys there who I know primarily can't stop the run, and I don't know how well we're gonna be on defense. We got better at the linebacker position. I'll give you that. I think we're gonna play linebacker pretty well, but I'm sorry. Thank you, William. Then you lost your best run defender in D-Law. So, I mean, am I supposed to be thinking that Marshawn Kneeling is he going to, I like him, and he played pretty decent. But, Sam Williams coming back. I expect Sam to play well. But is he going to be that much of a difference maker? I hope he is. I think he has the talent to, but that's the defensive end position. I'm talking about defensive tackles, an area that we have not addressed in the last 8 to 9 years and refuse to. We don't value that position. We don't put attention toward it. We put a little attention toward it when we got Hankins, but we want to cheap our way through it when it comes to the defensive tackles. We want to minimize the position. You know what I'm saying? But the way we address, it's backwards. It's kind of like, and I talked to Amp about this. It's kind of like you're going into surgery and you're going into surgery for your shoulder, but the doctor work on your knee. And that's backwards. It don't help your shoulder. It might help your knee fix, it may help in another area, but that ain't what you went into the part about, your surgery for your shoulder. What I'm trying to say is this, is that the main problem with the Dallas Cowboy defense has been defensive tackle. But we put Band-Aids on it and try to dress it up by going to get a bunch of edge rushers. You put Band-Aids on the problem. Yeah, we can rush the passer, but you got to earn the right to rush the passer. If you can't stop the run, you ain't rushing the passer. If it's 3rd and 2, that don't mean the quarterback finna get a shotgun and pass the ball. 3rd and 2 could be a pass. It very well could be another run play. You ain't stopping nothing. You see what I'm saying? So the Cowboys for years don't have the same every year. Matter of fact, everybody in here and had the same question: can we stop the run? How many years do we got to keep asking that same question before it finally gets seriously addressed. You ain't gonna get it by waiting till the draft is over or going to get somebody in the 6th or 7th round. You ain't gonna get it to address it like that. You're not gonna address it by saying we're gonna get a free agent on day 12 or waiting until free agency ends, then you go, or you ain't gonna get it by going to the UFL and getting the best UFL player. That's not how you're gonna get it done. You either gonna have to spend money or you gonna have to get a first, second, or a real good 3rd round guy and plug it up. You just not gonna do it. Cowboys ain't done that. They haven't done it. They haven't done it. And it's been years. We walking into this season with the same question that we've had for the last 8 years. Can we stop the run? Who are our defensive tackles? That's what we've been asking for the last 8-9 years. And it still ain't got fixed. Well, it could have been fixed a long time ago. You either spend money or you spend a high draft pick on a dog. We ain't done it. And please don't tell me the kid that we drafted in the 6th round this year from UCLA is the answer. That's not gonna be the answer. Najee Smith was drafted in the 1st round, and for his job in Michigan was to plug the holes. Man, you're getting pushed out of the holes. It's just the bottom line. You can't stand on the ground. You're getting pushed out. With weight or without weight. I'm just saying. Just saying. So to answer Coach Breedlove, I don't know how good this defense is gonna be. Which means, will our offense really have to score 30 points a game? And our defense give up 24? And that's the way we're gonna win this year, simply by outscoring people. Because I really don't have confidence in the defense. I got way too many questions. I'm sorry. They haven't addressed. Look, now I'm on that note. Let's just be honest, y'all. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? And I hate to damper some of your moves because some of you really think it's going to be a great season or whatever the case may be. But let's just be honest. Did we really address the issues that we really need for this team? Did we really address the running back position? No, we filled in the running back position. Did we really address it though? Like the running back that ain't no questions, he's the guy. Did we just get a bunch of number 2 running backs? That's what it seemed like. It seemed like to me the running. I'm not saying they can't play, and it very well may work. I'm just saying we just got a collection of a bunch of number 2 running backs. That's what we got. Javonte Williams is not a starting running back in this league anymore. Miles Sanders is not a starting running back in this league anymore. Jadon Blue was not a starting running back at Texas. Hunter Lemke is not a starting guy. Deuce Vaughn is not a starting guy. Phil Maffa is not a starting guy. We just got a collection of number 2 running backs for the running back room. Did we really address it? Or did we just get some guys just to get by? Get by may get you 9 wins. Get by may get you 10 wins. But let's not act like we just, we stacked that running back. Yeah, with a bunch of number 2 running backs. I'm just being honest with y'all. Did we address the wide receiver 2 position? You bet we did. Oh, we addressed that tremendously. Oh, yes. Oh, we tip our hat to that. When you got Pickens, oh God, yeah, the mood changed. Yes, sir. Oh, we addressed that. I have no question about that. Oh, yes, we did. We addressed the number 2 position. That's what a lot of people wanted. We addressed it with a tremendous trade, in my view. Okay. Then we go to the other spot, of course, that we've been begging for. Have we addressed the defensive tackle position? Nope. Even though you addressed it by re-signing Osi, and you got Mozzie supposedly may be better, but as I said before, we already got tape. We got tape to see how that movie look like. We've seen that movie. Mosa and Mozzie is not a good combination to stop the run. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it. Jay Bryan, I understand what you're saying. I said that it very well may work, but we just got a collection of number 2 running backs. Was it really addressed? Mark me down here, check me out in about another 18, 19 weeks. And then I may have to readdress the way I'm saying it now. But as of now, we just got a bunch of number 2 running backs. Did we address defensive tackle? Really? 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 Nope. So I got questions on defense. It's too many injuries. The running, stopping the run up the middle like we've been begging for. I don't see it. And I hope Mozzie comes out here and lose his mind. He can plug up the hole, stand his ground. He buy a linebacker somewhat free and go to work. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. I hope I'm wrong. But to answer your question, it's kind of hard to pan out what the division, where we stand in the division because of our question marks. I just don't know. As everybody keeps saying Philadelphia is this, Philadelphia is that, and kind of like Detroit. Detroit is this and Detroit is that. Well, Detroit lost both of their coordinators. Please let's not act like that ain't gonna mean nothing. Philadelphia just lost Kellen Moore. And for us Cowboy fans who wanted Kellen Moore gone, he left and picked up a goddamn ring as the offensive coordinator of a world championship team. It don't get no better than that. But they lost their offensive coordinator that directed them to a Super Bowl. I don't care if you got the same players. You lose your coordinators, that's a loss. That's a loss. I don't think Saquon Barkley gonna run for 2,000 yards this year. I don't. He had this one great year. I wouldn't be surprised if Saquon Barkley does what he did, turn back into the New York Giant type Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley made a whole year last year. Wasn't hurt. Usually Saquon Barkley is hurt. Know what I'm saying? I don't know if Washington won a whole bunch of games last year in the last 30 seconds or on the last drive. They got 2 Hail Marys, if I'm not mistaken. What if the ball go the other way this year? I mean, they very well could have lost, at least 4 games last year. They just was on the right end of the stick. They was just riding the wave. What if the wave don't ride? Everybody thought Houston was going to be great this year because of what C.J. Stroud did last year. Well, what was C.J. Stroud's sophomore year? He started putting hats on them. They had some injuries as well. Houston did in the wide receiver position. Houston won all that. Everybody thought Houston was going up, up, up. I know that Jaden Daniels going to do, have a great second year. I don't know that. I don't know that. Everybody thought Justin Herbert after his rookie year was going to be that. Justin Herbert ain't done nothing. Everybody keep waiting. Oh, Justin, they saying the same thing they say about him every year. Justin Herbert gonna do this. Justin Herbert gonna do that. Justin Herbert ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna win his division. It's Kansas. He's in the same division as the Kansas City Chiefs. He will not win his division unless Patrick Mahomes is injured. That's about the only shot they got. So everybody keep saying it's these expectations. It's kind of like the Cowboys. It's amazing how one person can do stuff. Before we drafted Tyler Booker, everybody was saying we gonna have O-line issues. We have O-line issues. We added one dude who is a rookie. And now everybody's saying the Cowboys is gonna have one of the best offensive lines in the game. Wait a minute. Isn't that amazing? And everybody was saying Tyler Guyton was not good. Everybody was saying Terrence Steele was not good. And yet the same two guys are there, but you done added Tyler Booker to the thing, and one dude changed the whole narrative of how people look at the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. And keep in mind, he ain't played one snap in the NFL. Now all of a sudden, because we added Tyler Booker, you still got the same Tyler Guyton that y'all said was raggedy. I didn't. You still got the same Terrence Steele who y'all say was raggedy. I didn't. But now because you got Tyler Booker, now all of a sudden we don't went from having O-line issues now to we got one of the better offensive lines in the game. It's amazing to me. Same thing could be said about George Pickens. Before George Pickens was there, now we're saying, well, we don't know who he gonna throw to because they're gonna double CeeDee Lamb. And despite CeeDee Lamb having Cooper Rush last year, he still got over 100 catches. He still was All-Pro. That his quarterback was gone, and he's still All-Pro. And yet, when we added Pickens, now all of a sudden, everybody done changed the narrative now and saying, man, Dak Prescott gonna cook this year? Oh my God. Dak Prescott this where may be one of the top 3 offenses in the league this year. I'm just saying. It's so predictions don't mean nothing, in other words. It's just amazing to me. It really is. It's amazing. And I'm not talking about content creators. I'm not talking about the fan base. I done heard ESPN guys say they got one of the best young offensive lines in the game. When did that happen? When did that happen? Because at the end of the year, we were saying we was O-line problems. They ain't played one down. Now all of a sudden we one of the best offensive lines in the game. I'm trying to figure when did that happen? I don't know. It's just amazing. Now, let me get to the other part so I can leave y'all guys alone. Michael Parsons. Marlon and I had a long discussion about this. And you had to be with us to understand how we talk. We sound like we're fighting. That's 20, 25 plus years of talking to each other. You know, it is what it is. Jerry Jones, and this is the part I'll let y'all in on our conversation. Jerry Jones is not thinking logically. He's just not. He's just not. And at some point, it's kind of like if the world got to see President Biden get old. And yeah, if he was in position to be president right now, we might be in a little trouble because he's not, he's old. And you can see it, and his brain is he's a little slower. It is what it is. That's what happens when older people get older. But people want to act like President Trump is like he's a spring chicken. And his stuff, it make you wonder, is he rational in some areas as well? I'm starting to wonder the same thing about Jerry Jones. Because when it comes to this contract stuff, Jerry is operating not as smart football GM should. He's operating from the stage of ego. That's the bottom line. It's ego. And it's not looking good. Michael Parsons, it was supposed to be signed long time ago. Long time ago. I don't know if it's Steven or not. And if it is Steven, Jared, Shane, we in trouble. Because if it is Steven is young. And we all know he's going to inherit this team in the event that Jared passes away, or Jared just say, I'm done, I'm retiring. If it is Steven, we're in trouble because we're going to have a lot of years of this. We're in real bad trouble. But I don't think it's Steven. I think it's Jared. Jared just wants to win. I may have to pay you, the top rated money for the position. But I'm going to win because I'm going to win by paying you when I want to pay you. Everybody say I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do that. No, I'm going to pay you when I want to pay you. I don't care about TJ Watt getting the deal done, and I don't care about you. The price may go up. I don't care about Hendrickson still sitting out there from Cincinnati, and he may get paid. I was going to make you the highest paid anyway. So if they get a deal, I just up it maybe another 1 million or 2 million more. But the problem is you didn't have to. That's what we're saying. Michael Parsons even saying this. Like, I wanted to get it done last year when Myles Garrett got his money. And because you're waiting, you will have to pay more. It just ain't no question about it. TJ Watt, when TJ Watt, it came across y'all phones, when it came across the ticker on ESPN or wherever you was watching, that he was the highest paid non-player quarterback, in the history of the league, Michael Parsons probably went to the liquor store and got the biggest bottle of champagne and popped it. Because he just saw his money. Whatever it is, whatever TJ Watt is, whatever it is, he just gonna add it just went up. And it just don't make any sense. At this point, it don't make sense. But we ought to be used to it. Why are you gonna pay Dak Prescott last year a couple of hours before he steps on the field against Cleveland in week 1? What kind of sense do that make if you're gonna do it? What kind of sense that make? This don't make any sense. But we have to go all the way back. Why are you going to not pay Emmitt Smith in 1993 and let the Cowboys, let them go out there without Emmitt Smith for the first 2 games? You lose 2 games and take Charles Haley to throw a helmet at you, but it hits the wall and puts a dent in the wall for you to go sign him. Of course, you win the Super Bowl after that. Hey, what's up? What's up, Noob? I see you. So it just didn't start now. When you knew you needed Emmitt Smith, when he was the MVP of the league, my God. When it was a running league, you got the best run in the league. You got the best offensive line in the league. You just won a Super Bowl. Why are you even playing around with this guy? He earned the right. He's an All-Pro. He's a Pro Bowl. He's the MVP of the league. He's the best running back in the league. Why did you let the Cowboys go 0-2 when you know you need it? So this ain't nothing new to Jerry. He specializes in not paying when you're supposed to pay guys. This ain't nothing new. But it's going to cost him. And if I was Michael Parsons, I wouldn't be like Dak Prescott did. See, Dak Prescott could have really did something really great. I mean, he got his money anyway. But Dak too nice. See, Dak came to training camp. He said, if I don't have my deal done by week 1, then forget about it. I'll just bet on myself. I'll play. And they got it done a couple of hours before he kick off against Cleveland. Just don't make any sense. When you knew you had to pay him anyway. Come on now. You knew you were going to pay him. Just like you know you're going to pay Parsons. What is the holdup? Now you don't let TJ get in front. Whatever your plans were for paying Michael Parsons, once TJ Watt signed his deal, you might as well throw whatever you was planning, throw it away. Because it just changed. And you better get Michael signed before the kid from Cincinnati gets signed. Because the kid from Cincinnati probably is going to get more than what TJ Watt just got. And if that is the case, Michael Parsons is going to go right back to the liquor store and going to get the next biggest bottle of champagne and going to pop that because his money just went up. You done went from Michael Parsons being a $40 million player to before this thing is over with, you probably going to be a $43 or $44 million player. I'm just saying. You know you gotta pay him. I don't know why we ain't. Why you just don't go and pay? You know you're not letting them go. You know you're not gonna let them play out this year and talk about franchising. You know you ain't gonna do that. But Jerry has. But see, here's the problem, Cowboy fans, and I hope this helps you because I don't think it's Steve. I don't think it's Steve. I think it's Jerry and his ego. See, I stopped a long time ago because I started thinking like Jerry thinks, illogical. So it don't bother me because I know what he's doing. It's ego. If y'all stop putting logical expectations on an illogical person, you'll start feeling cool about this. You'll start figuring out what Jerry gonna do for real. See, logic and Jerry Jones don't match up together well. It used to. But it don't now. He done got older. He don't think right. He don't. Don't think right. You listen to him talk, you be wondering like, man, what? What you say? And that's the problem with the fan base. That's the problem with ESPN. Everybody keep trying to put logical thoughts and logical expectations on a man that operates illogically. Once you start saying, start thinking from a illogical perspective, then the stuff that Jerry Jones is doing now makes sense. Contract has to be, right. Well, get your tail on the phone and make it right. This ain't hard. TJ Watt just gave you the blueprint. You ain't got to figure out how many, I understand the CBA is about to run out, so there might be a little argument over the years. Is it a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal? But that ain't, come on now. That don't take long. The money part is easy to figure out. Just look at TJ Watt. Whatever the guaranteed money is, you might as well go up. Whatever the average year per year, you might as well go up. It ain't nothing to talk about. It's simple. You put yourself in this corner, you got to pay him now. You're going to have to pay him anyway, but you definitely got to pay him now. And my suggestion is that you go ahead and get it done before the kid from Cincinnati get paid. That's my suggestion. I mean, I'm serious. It's like the kid from Cincinnati and Michael Parsons are saying, please sign first. Whoever you are, please sign first. The kid from Cincinnati is hoping Michael Parsons gets signed first. That's going to dictate how much his money going to be. Michael Parsons is hoping the kid from Cincinnati gets paid. That's how much money, much more money he going to get. It's a waiting game. And like I said before, if I was Michael Parsons, see, everybody ain't going to be like Dak Prescott. See, Dak Prescott practiced the whole way. Dak Prescott was at every practice. Dak waiting for his contract. He was a good man. He was the, corporate. He was there playing with, first team practice and then taking every rep and all that, willing to play it out and all that. If I was Michael Parsons, when I get to Oxnard, I ain't putting damn shoulder pad on. I'm not putting no helmet on. I'm not doing this. Everybody can't be the corporate dude. Everybody can't. Everybody can't do that. He need to take the DeMarcus Lawrence approach. Y'all remember when DeMarcus Lawrence had his contract dispute and he was not going to have surgery until he got paid to make himself better. And then once he got paid, he had the surgery. Maybe you got to take the Ezekiel Elliott approach. Y'all remember Cowboy? Remember how Ezekiel Elliott wouldn't even come out of Cowboy until he got paid? Because everybody knew you couldn't start the season without Ezekiel Elliott at that time. You remember that? He paid him. Michael Parsons the same way. You ain't playing football if you ain't got Michael Parsons on the field. You might have a chance for Arch Manning. I don't think the defense I was saying the defense just a few minutes ago. I got real questions about the defense, and that's with Michael Parsons. That's with Michael Parsons on the field. I got too many question marks. Williams says Parsons contract gets done week 1 in Philly. Yeah, it very well may be, but why I got to be in week 1 like it was week 1 against Cleveland for Dak Prescott? Just don't make any sense. Just ego. It's just ego. There's no logical explanation why it's got to be done on week 1 against Philly. It just makes no sense. Especially if Michael does take the approach of, I'm not practicing. If it's week 1, that means it'll miss the whole off season. I'm not scrimmaging against the Rams. I'm not practicing until it gets done. Well, there you go. William Kill. This is a proven point. He said Jerry liked the attention. Well, guess what? That's illogical. That's not logical. Most GMs would have had this done already. If that's one of the reasons why he hadn't signed Michael Parsons, that's illogical thinking. It's illogical thinking. That's what I'm talking about. Don't make sense. If that is the reason, that's ego, and that ego shouldn't be a reason why you playing horrible GM. It's just horrible. It really is. And this is the reason why, one of the reasons why we won and done. Because of stuff like this. Your front office don't make sense. Your front office won't go get you a defensive tackle. That's illogical thinking. When you done had an 8-9 year problem and you ain't fixed it, that's illogical thinking. Insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you gonna get a different result. Well, logical thinking is Mozzie and Osi is the answer. When we done obviously seen that is not. That's called illogical thinking. It's called illogical thinking. I don't get it. This is what we're talking about. I've said it before, and now I close with this. I've said this before, and it's really the truth. Let me set it up like this. Brock Purdy, to me now, I ain't saying to you, y'all may say something different. Brock Purdy is not as good as most people say he is. He's not. Brock Purdy has been surrounded by a whole bunch of talent. And they're so talented that they make Brock Purdy look good and make him get a lot of credit when the credit really is on them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Brock Purdy will throw a 5-yard swing pass to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey will take that 5-yard swing pass and score a 65-yard touchdown. Brock Purdy gets the credit for a 65-yard touchdown. But in actuality, Brock Purdy only threw a 5-yard swing pass. Brock Purdy will throw a bubble screen to Deebo Samuel. A 5 to 6 yard bubble screen going across the field. Not like a slant, but just on a direct line. Deebo Samuel will break 2 tackles and score a 69-yard touchdown. Brock Purdy gets the credit for a 69-yard touchdown. But in actuality, because of the talent of the individual, Purdy looks good. And Purdy will make a Pro Bowl because he threw a 5-yard swing pass a few times to Christian McCaffrey, and McCaffrey broke a whole lot of tackles and scored a couple touchdowns off of it. But Brock Purdy would say he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Look at his stats. Brock Purdy threw for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 of them, though, came by a bubble screen. One of them came by a swing pass to McCaffrey. So is Brock Purdy really that good, or is he surrounded by the talent? All I'm saying is this about the Cowboys. I've been saying it for years. The Cowboys are in a position where the talent of the team has to override front office, the lack of front office moves, and at that particular time, bad coaching decisions. That's how good, that's where the Cowboys are. I think we're going to have excellent coaching, but you got so much talent between CD and Pickens that if you just call the wrong play, they can hit their head on the goalpost. You may throw a bubble screen to CD. CD can break it. You may throw into double coverage with Pickens, but Pickens can get up in the air and go get it. And it turned out to be a touchdown. Bad read, bad throw, but it's in double coverage. But Pickens can go up and get it. The talent level has to be so good for us to pull it off in spite of our front office bad moves. You ain't never went and got a defensive tackle, but the talent level is so good on the offense that they can score 30 points a game. If you give up 24, if you give up 28, at least you won the game. You may not have the number, you may be a lower part of defense, but your offense is so good, you win game. I think that's where the Cowboys are. Serious. I think that's where we are. because you really haven't addressed the issues. You playing ego with the contracts. So if Jerry's in position, we know Tyler Smith is going to have the same problem. I doubt very seriously that we signed DeRon Bland, because Bland, if he have another great year, we already know he's going to be one that want to be probably one of the highest paid corners in the game, if not the highest. We know we ain't going to pay that. We're not going to pay that. And so all this stuff is about to come up on us again. And it's all because of the egomaniac that has always been in play, which is Jerry Jones. You don't address the issues that make up a team. And in the meantime, you got a guy like Howard Roseman, the Philadelphia GM, who's kicking your tail in the front office moves. He's kicking your tail on the football field. They are the world champions. Kicking your tail. That ain't the only one. You got a draft and develop philosophy that you done try for years and only get you so far. Did y'all see the stat that said that the Cowboys, see, it's no excuse. And that's another whole subject in itself, because that part ain't Jerry's fault. Well, but it is because of the coaches he hired. Did y'all see this, the picture of all the all-pros we had since 2010 or whatever, or 2000 that's been an all-pro? Y'all see all that? No other team has it. So if we got all-pro players and had them, on the team, most of them at the same time, and all the Pro Bowlers we had, then you got to start asking yourself the question, okay, why is this? It's because the GM refused to get the quality of the coach that's needed. That's another whole show within itself. I'll touch on that again. If I was Michael Parsons, I fly to Oxnard, but I wouldn't grab a helmet. I wouldn't do absolutely nothing. Sometimes you got to play hardball. Everybody ain't Dak Prescott. The good company boy. The good company guy. I'm sorry if that offend y'all when I say the company boy. I'm sorry. But everybody can't play that. Some folks got to be ruthless. Appreciate you, Coach. You got to play hardball. And if I were Michael Parsons, I wouldn't get on the field at all. I just get there just so I don't get fined. I come on the field. I ain't practicing until I get my money. Just ain't no doubt about it. I wouldn't. I'm not Michael, and I don't know how you feel about it, and it is what it is. He might take the Dak Prescott approach in practice. I don't know. He very well may do that. I don't know. He might. And then you can't tell a man how to act about his money, so be it. I'm just saying what I wouldn't do. It is what it is. And it's just ego, man. It's just Jerry's ego. And it don't make sense at all. It does not make sense. He does not. He does not. He is illogical. He's not logical in his thinking by no means. I'm wondering about his cognitive stuff. I'm wondering. Is he thinking straight? I'm wondering. What is he, 80? What is Jerry? 82? 84? 83? I don't know. I think he's 82 years old. Let me look. We all got it. 82 years old. Jerry Jones is 82 years old. Now, I don't know. Um, his family, his wife, you know what I'm saying? They'll be able to answer that question. I don't know. I don't know. And Jared may have been blessed by God not to lose nothing. He might be still as sharp as a tack. I don't know. I question. I don't know. I don't know. See, you don't have to be like President Biden where it's just, so obvious that he's, declining. You could be declining in a different way. You see what I'm saying? When you get older. I'm just serious. You don't have to be like President Biden was. Barely can walk and you're a little slow in his speech like that, and wondering and looking off and all this kind of stuff. President Biden got it one way. You don't have to be that way. Sometimes you can show it in a different way. People wondering if you done lost your mind, like with some of the decisions that you're making. Let me stop. I'm done. All right, y'all take it easy, man. It don't make no sense with some of the stuff Jerry's doing. Man. It just don't. Yeah, I can search it over. Like, what is the benefit? What is the benefit of you waiting like that? What is the benefit? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I see what you said, William. That's funny. That's funny. Well, it ain't funny, but I get it. I can get a laugh out of it. All right, I'm out. I'll see you guys at some point next week. Turn on those live notifications, and you'll know when I'm coming on. You're on YouTube, not subscribed to the show. Will you please do that for me? Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. If you're watching by Twitter or X, it's simple. Follow the Big Time Lou at Big Time Lou is right there. If you're watching on Twitter, just follow me. It's right there. And then, of course, if you're on Facebook, you just simply like the page, the Big Time Show page, and you can follow me there as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. It's almost time, but the grass is going to answer a lot of the questions. The grass will answer a lot of the questions. All right. So we're getting closer and closer to that. We'll see you guys on the next go around. Appreciate all you guys hanging with me. JVB boy, peace out to you, man, and to everybody. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show.